Hello, in this video I am going to show how we can use the Intelligent Visibility app inside of Supply Chain Control Tower to view impacted customer orders, the root causes for the impact, and finally do a navigation to the connected S4 system into a relevant document type where we can see additional details around an order and potentially make changes in the S4 system. So I'm going to start with our view of our network inside of Intelligent Visibility. What I am showing here is the connections between our locations, and I also see that there are a couple of locations that have alerts. So I'm going to start with this location in Central North America that has 10 alerts. Clicking on that, I'll load my alerts for this location. And I can see that these mostly are all sales order requested alerts. So we have different dates and materials in this location that have not met some kind of criteria and created an alert. So I'll pick the first one and see what this really has an impact on. So I have a customer order, and I can now see from this that it has a real customer order behind it, and it had a requested date and requested quantity, customer name, and we have a delay of 3 days. And then we have the confirmation percentage, how far we got to what the customer requested. Clicking on the details of this, I'm going to see why we weren't able to confirm that order as requested by the customer. And this gets into determining the root cause, and in this example, there are several different root causes why we weren't able to meet the customer request. And we see that's due to several due to insufficient lead time, 4 different components that go into this item, and those are attached to different document types. So if we look at one of these, we can see that this is related to a purchase requisition, and there's a ID here associated with that. One potential solution to any of these problems would be to go into the Gating Factors Analysis app and try to see if we can improve through changing some variables in the planning run or a reallocation. It's possible to solve this problem. In this case, I am going to navigate to the relevant document inside of S4. As you can see here, I've selected this item and I can hit navigate to, and you can see I have a contextual menu here that's saying display purchase requisition or in S4. So clicking on this, I am going to open a separate tab in my browser, and it opens up the fact sheet in S4 for that requisition. So I'm now able to see any information related to that requisition. For example, the name of the supplier, etc. I can see all that directly in here, and if I wanted to edit it or do any of the follow-on steps, of course I have access to do all that inside of S4. Going into other types of documents, on this one we could go into a stock transfer requisition, but I'm going to go into a whole different alert. So I'll close this and see an example of an item that's delayed through manufacturing. And so I will pick one here. Again, I see that there's a real customer order impact of this alert. We see that it's on the 4th or April 1st, and we see that it's a resource overload. So like the other example, I could have navigated into another area of IBP for this, but I'm going to show the navigation into a planned order instead of S4. So you can see from the menu, I'll open this up, S4 planned order. Click on that, I will open a tab, and then like in the other example, I open up the fact sheet for this planned order, and I can perform any follow-on functions. So if I have this set up, I can convert this into a production order, etc., or change dates and quantities. So coming back here to summarize, what I've shown is that we had a view of our entire network where exceptions exist in our network. So we see that we have 10 exceptions in this location. Clicking on several of these, we saw that these are sales order alerts, meaning that we have underconfirmed against a request. And it is a real sales order, and we can see the amount that we are going to miss by, the date, etc., and the impacted customer. And then by selecting that, we now see the impact or the root cause of this late request. So we saw an example of insufficient lead time and then also resource overload. So with one view, we were quickly able to see the problem, the impact, and navigate to the connected system of record to potentially change some data there. This describes some of the new functionality that we're delivering with the IBP 2005 release. So in May 2020, we will have this available in your IBP system. Thank you.